I've been talking to delegates today about the General Optical Council's Education Strategic Review. This is intended to help us have a really good look at the education system and make sure it really is training and supporting the professions to practice in the future. We need to actually have a good look at how optical education should evolve so that you and other colleagues are actually equipped to do the roles of the future, whatever they might be. There's a great deal of change out there. There's change in technology, there's change in demographics, public expectation. There's a lot more that potentially optometrists can do, and this is about ensuring that the education supports them to practice effectively. The key thing we have to do as a regulator is make sure we're not standing in the way of all those changes, that we're supporting them evolving safely. We're supporting them to come in by the help that we actually give to the profession through education and training. What's on the table is our entire approach to education. We realise that there will also be some implications for our continued education and training programme, but that's not on the table at the moment. So it's really the whole approach to education, including the content of the courses, the programmes, the lot. How should GOC change its approach? How can we make sure there are consistent standards across different programmes as different programmes emerge? How do we make sure that students are well-rounded health professionals who've got enough patient experience before they actually end up on the register and enter the workplace? We want feedback from everybody, but we would really value practitioners getting in touch with us. There's a proper call for evidence that we're starting with, but there'll be a series of consultations that people can get engaged with. We really do need to hear from professionals on this one. What should change? Should we keep the competency model? Should we have a different model? Should we focus more on the outcomes? Should there be fewer detailed requirements, fewer hoops to go through for the educational institutions? And should there be a wider role for higher qualifications in all that we do? At each stage where we're consulting, we will make it really clear to people who to get in contact with, what the timeline is. Each consultation or call for evidence will have a reasonable amount of time attached, so there won't be a rush. The one thing we absolutely do not want to do is to create something that in 10 years' time will be a fossil, and we'll be going, well, why did we do that? So we really want to look ahead and think about making sure that the system we put in place is not only flexible enough for now, but can actually evolve as the future sort of changes around us. It really depends on the changes that we identify. I can envisage there might be some simple, straightforward changes that we identify. Those might happen quickly. If there are bigger, broader changes, then we have to recognise that educational institutions have their own timelines that we would have to work with. I think this review has been a long time coming. It's absolutely essential, it's absolutely necessary. We look at this, the changes taking place around us are so significant, it absolutely begs and demands it. And the door is absolutely open for the whole of the profession to engage in some really good looking ahead at what's needed for the future.